Hi ladies, how are you? I know there's several of you who are wanting to be here. Let me see if I can invite. Let me find your name. Jody, Josie, you, there's somebody else. Annie went here. Hello, if you guys are on the live, please say hi. If you're on the replay, please say hi as well. I just got out of the shower, so don't mind me. I'm releasing perfectionism, ladies. This is work in progress. So let me pull up my notes here so I don't forget to mention anything. Hi, how are you? Who is that? It's not showing me your circle face. Did you guys love, I'm just going to point it out because it's driving me nuts, the N95s? If you don't know, I'm also a registered nurse. I work the COVID unit. I go to work tonight, and it gives us these lovely rings of acne. It's terrible, but you know what? I don't have COVID, so I'll take it. So, lots of things to cover today. You guys have been asking some amazing questions, and I just want to thank you so much for bringing your questions here to the group. This group is more than just a group, and it's truly becoming that. It's becoming a community, and I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for that. Today we're going to be talking about meal prepping and meal planning. A lot of you have been asking some really good questions around this, and I'm going to share with you some of the things I've learned along the way. I'm going to tie it into the solutions around all of the sugar craving stuff I've been talking about, because this is the 4th week. And I know you guys don't want to just hear about the problems that go hand in hand with food cravings, specifically sugar cravings. You guys want solutions. So my thought today was meal planning and meal prepping. It goes perfectly with this. And if you are wanting something that's laid out for you, that's a proven path, I'm going to invite you in to something at the end of this. Or I'll just go ahead and mention it here. And Be Well with Becca, if you guys are needing meal plans, recipes, shopping lists, just to get your creative juices flowing around what I'm talking about today, then come hang out with me in the membership. You guys get all of that stuff. For November, I'm giving you guys all the things to start reducing your sugar intake. That's meal plans that you do not have to follow perfectly. I'm going to talk about that when we talk about meal prepping. So meal plans, shopping lists, recipes, these are not just things that sound good. These are proven, it's proven to work. I've done this time and time again with clients and other group programs where I've run this program, and I absolutely love it. They get results. They get the results. It's not just the vanity fluffy results. They get real results. So if you want to come hang out and do that, I'll drop the link at the end. But for now, we're going to talk about solutions. So a couple weeks ago, I'm also going to tag the videos that we've went over in the last 3 weeks. The first week we had talked about the polarity of food and how it also is the polarity of your lifestyle choices and how that can be contributing to your cravings and creating them without you really realizing it. So I'll tag that video. Week 2, we talked all about what's really happening when you eat sugar. What's going on inside your body? Why do we have the sugar high? Why do we have the blood sugar crash where it feels like you're on this roller coaster, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, and how that relates to that afternoon fog, or like the foggy brain, kind of getting tired because it's 3 p.m., it's the afternoon slump. And then last week, I had talked all about how oftentimes it's so much easier to just reach for food and to eat something to make ourselves feel better momentarily, instead of really addressing what's going on underneath the surface. So, like I said, I know you guys want more solutions than what we've already talked about. So that's what today's geared around, okay? And my mouth is so dry. I feel like I have so much to say in such a short period of time. I only have 30 minutes. Okay. Yes, I'm drinking coffee. I work tonight. So, solutions. As we have talked about, I believe it was in week 1, I said most foods that are, whether they're highly processed, they have higher amounts of sugar, simple carbs, things of that nature, they don't have much fiber, fat, or protein. So what I used to do is think, oh my gosh, I can eat this. Let's use yogurt as an example. I can eat this low fat, fat-free yogurt, and I can have as much of it as I want because it's healthy for me, because it doesn't have fat, or it's low fat version. And then I would eat like 2 or 3 times the normal serving size, because I could justify it, because it didn't have as much fat in it, which means it didn't have as much calories. But then, as we've already learned, if it doesn't have much fiber, fat, or protein, you're going to spike your blood sugar. And if that food, like this yogurt, doesn't have much fat in it, it probably doesn't have much protein in it, and there's not much fiber, your blood sugar is going to be all over the place. And you're putting a crap ton of sugar into your system at one time, which means you're spiking it up. So something I always tell my clients, if they don't have a lactose sensitivity or an allergy to dairy products, then get the full fat version. If you do have sensitivity to those things, to dairy products, and me personally, I don't handle dairy well, so I don't do much dairy anyways, but I do love cheese. I will say that. So what I do, I find alternatives. So alternative dairy products. You can do things like coconut milk. It's full of healthy fats and proteins. And just like anything else, it's good for you in moderation, okay? So coconut milks, coconut fats, there's almond milks, there's soy, there's all kinds of different alternatives. So just because you may or may not have a dairy sensitivity doesn't mean you can't approach this with a different alternative, okay? So low fat and fat-free versions are not the best option. The second solution I have for you guys is your water intake. Water is so important, and I know that there's other health coaches and wellness people in here, and I know that they will attest to this as well. Water is crucial, ladies. Like I was saying in a video I did earlier today, my dad is a farmer, and one of the main excuses he says as to why he doesn't drink more water is because then he has to pee more. It's like, well, duh. That's what it is. What it is. He drinks tea and diet soda all the time. It drives me insane, but I can't do anything about it. So he doesn't drink water because he's a farmer. That means he has to stop what he's doing and go pee. It's like, okay, would you rather pee a little more right now versus ruin your kidneys? Oh, the kitty's here. We got a new kitten. I'll have to show you guys later. It's really, you have to pick and choose. Is your health worth peeing a little bit more for? Yeah. Yes, it is. You're flushing out the toxins and all those impurities that your body doesn't need anyways. That's how your body excretes things. And your body is 70% water. So if you are not giving yourself the water, your body will literally start pulling it from other places where you really do need it. And as you're doing this kind of work and you're doing change work and whatnot, you require more water to create new neural pathways. Water is essential, you guys. So if you are, I'm going to tell you this again, and I want you guys to hear this from a different perspective. Just hear it again. If you feel like you're hungry, just check in and ask yourself, am I really hungry or am I dehydrated? When was the last time I sat down and had a glass of water? Because more often than not, people are dehydrated. So what I always tell people is drink some water, drink a glass of water, give yourself 5 or 10 minutes, and then come back and see if you're hungry or not. If it was the water, great. If you were dehydrated, drink some water. Please drink more water. If you need help on drinking more water, I've got all kinds of resources I can share with you, but you have to let me know what you need. So we've talked about fat-free, low-fat versions and how I don't approve of those. Increasing your water. The third thing is going to be around sleep. Hi, how are you? The third one is your sleep patterns, and this one is always easier said than done. And as a nurse who works night shift, I can tell you I practice this, but I am not perfect at it by any means. Hence, I just got out of the shower a little while ago because I was sleeping. I will tell you, I did prioritize my nap today. So think of it from this perspective. If your body is tired, what do you naturally start reaching for to give you a quick energy boost? To give you a quick pick-me-up? Coffee? Something with caffeine in it? Something with lots of sugar in it? something to give you a quick pick-me-up. Because as we talked about before, if your sugar spikes up, you're going to have momentary increased energy. And then what do you end up doing? If you're somebody who tries to stay up late to get things done, do you end up snacking throughout the night to stay awake? If you are a night shift worker like myself, do you find yourself drinking a crap ton of coffee? Are you putting extra sugar and creamer in your coffee? Are you like, those are the things, you know, if your body is tired, it's going to reach for things to give you another burst of energy to carry you through. It makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. Your body is trying to do what you want it to do. It's just a matter of, are you giving it the proper fuel? Usually not. The other piece of that is, when I start working with clients, I always like to talk about their sleep hygiene. And something I learned from Mel Robbins is her 5-second rule. If you haven't heard of her, check her out. She's amazing. Her 5-second rule is phenomenal. One of the things that she talks about is your sleep cycles. If you're somebody who hits snooze more often than you would like to, this will change your perspective on hitting snooze. It really blew my mind when I first heard it. She says, and there's all kinds of, she's got like resource links and whatnot in her book and in her audibles in this. So there's lots of research around this. But when you hit snooze in the morning, you are literally putting yourself through another sleep cycle. You have to go through another circadian rhythm before your body will truly wake up. So if you're somebody who hits snooze once, twice, 3 times before you get up when your alarm's going off, here's the kitty. If you're hitting snooze, your body has to go through that entire sleep cycle. Even if you only hit snooze to get another 5 minutes, your body still thinks, oh, you did make it. Hi, how are you? Your body still has to go through that entire sleep cycle. So if you hit snooze one time, you now have about an hour and a half. You're going to wake up, you're going to feel groggy, like you just can't wake up for the first hour and a half. If you hit snooze twice, it's going to be 3 hours. You hit snooze 3 times, it's now going to be 4.5 hours. So what are you doing when you're feeling groggy and tired and like you just can't wake up? You are probably over-caffeinating yourself. You are giving yourself those highly processed things, those more refined sugars to carry you through. It makes sense. It does. So something that I started doing, and that Mel Robbins recommended, and I talked my husband into doing, which is phenomenal because he's not a morning person. He actually wakes up half-assed decent now, is setting your phone outside of your bedroom or your alarm, whatever your alarm is. Put it outside of your bedroom. Put it far enough away that you literally have to get up to shut it off. And then start your day. Don't get back in bed. And my clients, when they do this and I tell them this, they're like, holy shit, it actually works. Like, yeah, I know. And you don't even have to be a morning person. It's so cool and it's so simple. Okay, next thing, because I want to talk about the meal prepping and whatnot, is coffee. As I'm drinking my coffee, a couple things on coffee. If you are drinking too much coffee, it triggers your body and it tricks your body into thinking it's getting extra sugar, because you can over caffeinate yourself, you guys. And even though I drink my coffee black, a lot of people don't. What they're putting in their coffee, they've got the creamers, they've got the sugars, they've got all the extra fun stuff to make it taste really good. So how much coffee are you drinking versus how much syrup are you drinking? How much creamer is really in there? Are you being cognizant and aware of what you're truly putting into your body? Want to see the kitty? Isn't it so fluffy? Oh my gosh. It's my daughter's new cat. Its name is Bubbles. They thought it was a girl, but my mom thinks it's a boy. So we're not sure what it is yet. It's really fluffy though. And it doesn't like my dogs. So coffee. Most people don't drink their coffee black. They put all kinds of extra stuff in it. And then, as we talked about earlier, all those extra creamers and whatnot, they probably don't have much fiber, fat, or protein in them. It's just pure sugar. So it triggers your blood sugar, you go up, and then your body reacts, and then you end up having a blood sugar crash shortly thereafter. The next thing is around your protein intake. You know, every single one of us requires a different amount of protein and a different source of protein, whether it's plant-based or animal-based protein. Knowing what works best for you is the key here, because if you have too much, I want to say, I don't remember this exactly, but I think it's too much animal protein, it actually triggers your body into thinking it's getting on a sugar rush. It does. And then it makes you, as we were talking about before, it makes you crave those things. Remember, we talked about contractive food versus expansive. So if you're eating these animal proteins that are the more savory things, the red meats, they're contracting. So they're going to make you crave the sugar cravings. Okay. Sorry, this cat's biting my hand. So with all that being said, let's talk about meal planning and meal prepping. What kinds of things can you put in place for yourself so that you can successfully plan ahead? Because I know a lot of you had questions around this, and I feel like all of those things I was just talking about really do go hand in hand with this. It also goes hand in hand with the Be Well with Becca membership. If you just jumped on, I was talking about having a meal plan and having recipes and your shopping list together. I can give you all of those resources, which I do in the Be Well with Becca membership, but it's only as good and as effective as your plan for you actually is. How well do you implement the plan? So to answer the questions around meal planning and meal prepping effectively and efficiently truly comes back to you and what is realistic for you. Because what's realistic for you is probably not realistic for me. And what I found, because I used to do fitness competitions, you guys, I used to be that person. I did bikini competitions through nursing school. I lived by meal plans. I lived by meal prepping. And I did it so much that I burnt myself out on it. And now, if I even try to plan ahead my meals farther than a couple days, it doesn't work. My brain goes into shutdown mode and it sounds boring and I won't follow it. And I know that it is what it is. And I'm okay with that. I used to judge it like crazy and think that it wasn't, like, I had all these weird thoughts around it. Like, why? Why could I used to do this and now I can't? And it's because I burnt myself out so much on it. It was so depriving. It wasn't fun. And it's not realistic for me anymore. I mean, when I used to do that, I had a boyfriend. He ate whatever the hell he wanted. I did what I wanted. Now I've got my husband and 2 kids. It's not realistic to live by a meal plan anymore. So my thought for you guys, this is what I do now. And this helps me so much. And if it helps you, it does. If it doesn't, this is just my experience. What I do now is I think about the things, I know what I like. I know what foods make me feel good. That's number one. You have to know what foods make you feel your best. What foods make you feel like crap or make you feel not as good as you'd want to. I know what those foods are for myself. And then I ask myself, okay, because one of the things I've been noticing is I'm not getting enough protein, especially since I'm still breastfeeding right now. It doesn't happen. So how can I give myself what I need to feel good, make sure I'm hitting my macro requirements, like my protein, my fat, and my carbs, because I don't eliminate carbs. I know some of you have been asking about that too. I don't believe in eliminating food groups. Okay? It's just, again, depriving. And then the other thing I ask myself is, what is actually realistic? I know a lot of people, when they do meal planning and meal prepping, they think they need to devote the majority of their weekend or like their whole Sunday to it. And I used to do that, and it doesn't. Yesterday I had a birthday party. I didn't plan any of my stuff out yesterday. What I did is, it's Monday. I know I'm going to work. I have a crock pot going. I use my crock pot all the time. I really need to invest in an Instapot. So do you have a crock pot? Do you have an Instapot? Do you have things that you can set and forget and it makes enough food for a couple days? Because what I found is, if for me, I would plan things out for my entire week, and I would think I needed to plan my breakfast, I needed to plan my lunch, my dinner, and all the snacks in between. And I would get so bored with it by day 2, day 3. I didn't want any of the other things that I had planned ahead of time, the food that was sitting there ready in the refrigerator, because I was bored with it. So what I did around that, what I now do is I only prepare ahead of time one main meal, just one. And that's the one that is dinner for me, because I know, like this week, I work tonight through Thursday night. I'm not going to be home for dinner. My husband works night shift. If we've got dinner ready to go, it saves us both a crap ton of time. So it's in the crock pot. It gets ready for us Monday. It's done. That's it. You know, he likes to go out. He can go eat out for work, and that's what he likes to do. Me, I like to do protein shakes, whether it's for breakfast or if it's for lunch. It doesn't matter. I usually do one of those a day when I'm working. I've recreated that habit. So instead of planning my entire meal, like all the meals for every single day, I plan one. And then I make sure I have enough simple food in my refrigerator or my freezer that's easily accessible and easy to prepare. Because if it's going to take me a long time, especially as it gets closer to the end of the week, I'm tired. Let's be real. We're moms. We're freaking tired. We're tired of all the crap that's been going on throughout the week. We're burnt out. We're just ready for the weekend to get here so we can relax. And if we had to sit down and prepare this like extravagant, detailed kind of thing, it's not going to happen. So how can you make it simple on yourself? I know one of you had said that you could do more simple things most of the week and then do like one detailed, extravagant kind of meal every week. Yeah, that's realistic for you. I love that you brought that up. It comes down to a matter of how can you make this realistic for you and what's going on in your life. Because what's going on for me is different than what's going on for you. So what's realistic for you? What do you feel like, I guess my challenge for you is if you could have one of your meals ready to go so you don't have to think about it, all you have to do is grab it from your refrigerator and heat it up, what meal of the day would that be for you? Drop that in the comments. Let me know. The other thing around this is I used to, back when I was doing my competitions, I felt really guilty if I got any of those frozen kind of foods or frozen kind of meals, even if they were the healthier ones, because they were higher in sodium and that would make you retain water and blah, 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 all the things. What I've realized now is it doesn't matter as much as we think it does. There's a couple brands of the frozen, of like the freezer style meals that I like because I trust them and I know the ingredients in them. It's like less than 10 ingredients in there, and it's usually like because there's some spices in the sweet potatoes, or there's some seasoning on the steak, or there's, this on whatever. It's because they're actual seasonings and you can actually pronounce them and I know what they are. I trust them. Yeah, it might have a little bit more sodium in it, but you know what? If it's just intermittently and it's in moderation, it's not that big of a deal, you guys. It really isn't. This is one of those things where we have to choose to practice over perfection, because that was one of the things I used to fall into with this as well, is perfectionism. I'm a recovering perfectionist. It's okay if everything doesn't go exactly according to plan, how we wish it would have, or if we don't follow everything just like that. That's why I hesitate to give meal plans out with my programs. But I do, because I know that people sometimes like to have that stepping stone. They like to have that extra guidance. So this is exactly what we do, like in the first month in November and Be Well with Becca, the monthly membership for the Low Sugar Challenge, which is the entire month of November. It's all around reducing your sugar intake, not eliminating it, because as I've said before, I don't believe in eliminating certain foods. Like even sugary things, like processed things. I know a lot of people would say, oh, you need to cut out all processed things, but is that realistic? Probably not in today's age. And you have to give yourself grace and be patient with yourself. So for things like this where I know people need extra guidance, I have a meal plan all laid out. It's got everything you would need on there. And what I tell my clients is, please, dear Jesus, do not follow this perfectly. Don't think you have to do every single thing on here just as it's laid out. It's just a guide. You take what you like and leave the rest. What I used to find is with meal plans that I would get from my trainers and my coaches is I didn't like the foods that they put on there. So then I would be like, well, screw it. I'll just figure out a different way, and I won't use what the resources they gave me. And realistically, all I needed to do was figure out what I liked and what I don't like and give myself permission to have more of the things that I liked. Because I know not everybody is going to like the things I recommend. And I get that. It's a part of you recognizing that you don't like something or something isn't working for you, and then you change it. That's it. You don't have to dwell on it or feel bad that something isn't working for you. You just change it. If something's not working, that gives you guidance that, hey, try something else. I feel like there was another question somebody had asked around the meal prepping. If I didn't answer all of the questions you guys had answered, drop it in the comments and I'll come back and answer them. But if this is speaking to you around the Be Well with Becca, and if you feel like you're at a place where you would like the extra support, especially now through the holidays, then come hang out in the Be Well with Becca. You get the meal plans, the recipes, the shopping list, that everything you need, the extra support, the extra accountability check-ins. If you like hanging out with me here on the lives I do Monday and interacting with me in the group, then you would love it, and the membership. For you guys, it's $77 a month. It's normally $97 a month, but I'm giving you guys $20 off a month for lifetime. That's it, you guys. $77 a month. Can you commit to yourself for $77 a month? I know for some people, that's a lot of money. I know for other people, that's not very much at all. I respect you wherever you are on that spectrum. But what are you willing to commit to? What are you willing to try differently? Are you willing to sacrifice anything, even in the short term, so that you can try a different approach and see what actually works for you? And like I said earlier today, if you can commit to changing your health now and changing your habits now and bettering yourself now, we are less than a week away from Halloween. If you can commit to this now, think of what else, like anything is possible for you the rest of the year. The holiday seasons are the hardest time to make these kind of changes for yourself because there's all kinds of temptation, all kinds of stressors. It's the busiest, it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's also the most stressful time of the year for a lot of people. So how can you manage these things so that you come out in better health in January, so that you're not, I hate New Year's resolutions, you guys. I used to love them, but you're not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing that needs to be fixed. And that's the perspective that people come at it with. And of course things aren't going to work when you think there's something wrong with you. It's what can we improve? What can we make better? Instead of thinking that there's something wrong with you in January, we can just start. You've already created a beautiful, strong foundation for yourself now. So if you want in on that, on the Be Well with Becca membership, I'll drop the link below. If you have any other questions around the meal prepping or the meal planning, let me know. I feel like I said, I think there's something I'm forgetting. Otherwise, Bubbles and I are gonna go get the kids ready, and I'll get ready for work. Yep, you're talking. Making sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, the last thing about this membership is this. This isn't your health journey and your wellness journey. It's a personal journey, you guys. That means it's a personal process. And even though it's personal and it's very unique and individualized to you, that doesn't mean you have to go it alone. If you've been trying to do things on your own up to now, what could be different if you brought in support and you surrounded yourself by people who truly cheered you on and wanted to see you succeed and wanted you to they wanted to experience you and your best self? The other day I was going to go for my run, and as moms, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to mom guilt. I still experience mom guilt now and then. And it really made me such a proud mom. It was like one of those proud parenting moments because my daughter came in and my husband had been out working in the garage, and she's like, Mommy, it's your turn to go now. I was like, what do you mean? Because I'd been telling my husband, I want you to go for a run. I want to go for a run because it makes me feel good. And she knows that. And she said, my daughter's 4, and she's like, Mommy, it's your turn to go for a run now because I know it makes you happy and it makes you feel good. It's like, wow, I've showed up so much for myself that my daughter is more than happy for me to take care of myself because she knows I feel my best when I do these nice things for myself, when I take care of myself first. So if you struggle with mom guilt, ladies, your kids want you to be happy. They want you to be your best self. They will pick up on the things that we do. They model our behavior. They model our actions. And if they don't see us taking care of ourselves, then that's how they're going to grow up. And they're going to think it's normal to throw themselves on the back burner because that's what they witnessed you doing. So if you've been thinking that you can't commit to something like this membership because you feel guilty as a mom, or you think you're not giving your kids the best version of you, I challenge you to think again around that. I want every mom to have that experience where, like I had with my daughter, it's like, yes, that's a good parenting moment. I've been doing such a great job. Like, she actually wants me to take care of myself. She wants me to stop, take time away from her and my son and go do what makes me feel my best. And that's amazing. I wish that for everybody. So I'll let you guys go. I know you all are busy. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I will drop the links in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to give you any more guidance if you need some more clarity around anything. But otherwise, I will see you guys later. Bye.